Oh, hi there. So today I want to talk about something called stream sniping and autism. And yeah, if you're a younger viewer now, you might go, oh, stream sniping? Yeah, that's something that an autistic person would do. And, maybe this video is not for you. It's mostly maybe for my older viewers. And I myself only found out what, stream sniping is about maybe 2 years ago. And to me, it's one of those things where it really shows how our society has become much more complex as we have more ways of connecting with each other, more in different social situations. And those things can be challenging for people on the spectrum. And stream sniping, that's basically when a live streamer, somebody who actually films themselves and broadcasts as they are, talking and walking outside somewhere. If that person has a fan, and that fan goes, "Oh, I know where that person is," and then they, go and try to then wrap that person to a conversation, and the streamer has to suddenly tend to their audience, the camera, the stream sniper. It's a public setting, so the streamer can't easily get away. Yeah, it's one of those prime situations to me where an autistic person who maybe watches that streamer, maybe even for hours every day, gets excited, might be very lonely, then feels a connection to that streamer, is then not socially aware enough to put themselves into other people's shoes, like that streamer's shoes, and realize, that is not appropriate. But I'm getting ahead of myself. First, I'll be reacting here to a video called "Streaming Put This Person's Life in Danger" by a creator called Connor Dog. And he talks here first about a female streamer who had really creepy encounter with a fan who recognized her location from where she was streaming and confronted her. And later he talks about his own experiences with stream snipers as he was doing IRL in real life streams. Great video, so let's check it out.
Hey, oh god, I didn't close it properly.
I figured, hey, when I want to talk about something that involves live streaming, I'll just upload it to the second channel and talk about it. And today I want to talk a bit about stream sniping. A lot of people have asked my opinions on it because, as you know, I do a lot of IRL content. And, well, I've had my fair share of stream snipers. Not always good or bad. First of all, I'm getting ahead of myself. What is a stream sniper? If you don't know, a stream sniper is basically when somebody tracks down a live streamer while they're streaming. Obviously, not while they're in their house, because that would be extremely weird and creepy, but for some reason, it's kind of accepted if the person is streaming in real life. Let's say I'm walking around, which I've done many times, and if somebody happens to be geographically close to where I'm streaming, they might drive or run or walk to wherever I'm streaming to come and greet me and kind of snipe me on the stream. That's why it's called stream sniping. It's kind of accepted to be okay as a thing to do in streaming for some reason. It doesn't really have a bad rep as long as the person is normally cool. If the person is not cool, the people generally do not like it. However, there is...
So, yeah, I don't know if it's usually cool. Maybe if you just say a quick hello, I'm your biggest fan, go on. And he does already mention here, it's a difference between if the person is cool or not cool. And yeah, if you're autistic and you stream snipe, you might come across immediately as creepy, from the very first second, and I think that falls into the not cool category.
Some dangers, and there are some kind of thoughts that I have and kind of concerns that I want to express. So Shibuya Kaho, a good friend of mine who I've made so many videos with, often does IRL streams in Japan, and sometimes she does them alone. However, she tends to do them not in Tokyo. The odds of getting stream sniped kind of go down quite drastically once you leave Tokyo. I did an IRL stream for about 8 days straight with a geographical exact location of where I was in real time to 15 to 30,000 viewers, and only one person actually came to us and said hi. Generally, it's quite safe to stream alone in Japan. Arguably one of the safest places in the world to stream if you're not streaming in Tokyo specifically. And Kaho was doing this. However, once Kaho...
it does look like fun, to go somewhere and walk around in a park or whatever and interact with your viewers, chat etc. That looks like a fun thing.
Ended her stream and she was on her way back from that location to Tokyo. Somebody had actually approached her who was watching her on the stream, knowing that she would need to get the train back home, and kind of confronted her at the station off stream. Obviously, when you have a camera running 24/7 broadcasting to 10,000s of people, people are a lot less willing to commit crimes or do bad things. So when the camera goes off and you're not streaming, it suddenly becomes a bit scarier. Now, obviously, Kaho was very concerned, and she tweeted, "My Twitch chat waiting for me at a station in Tokyo when they knew I was trying to catch my last train after streaming in Shizuoka, about an hour away from Tokyo. Scared me in so many ways." Yeah, this is extremely concerning, especially given that Kaho was streaming alone and that no one was there with her. So it's very fortunate that it kind of just ended in a kind of creepy confrontation. It didn't really go anything beyond that. But who's to say it couldn't have? And obviously, all of the replies to this post are really concerned and worried for Kaho. And I've told Kaho many times that I think that she should have people with her when she streams just in case, because it's scary. Like, legit. Like, you are giving people...
Yeah, I don't know if all, especially autistic men, would realize that you just don't approach a woman when she's alone, because that can be just inherently scary for that woman. I think a lot of, autistic men, and probably also neurotypical men, might go, "Oh, I'm not scary, I'm not creepy, I'm just going to help, I'm going to offer help, I'm going to, have a nice chat." But approaching a woman in any situation where she can't get away, like waiting for a train by herself, and starting anything beyond, like a 5-second interaction, like trying to start up a real conversation, etc., can be really scary. It's a no-no in my opinion.
The exact location of where you are. You're normally carrying a lot of equipment. You're worrying about what Twitch chat is saying. You're focusing on the camera. You're not actually paying as much attention to your surroundings as you would if you were just walking around normally. It is a completely different mindset that you're in. And of course, like any good YouTuber, this made me think about myself. YouTuber try not to skew every single thing about themselves, challenge impossible difficulty. Obviously, I have had my fair share of creepy stream snipers. So here's one that happened with me and Rob. We were in a massage foot bath kind of parlor, I guess, and randomly this gentleman walked in wearing a full gas mask, looking like a caustic main in his true habitat, holding a laptop, live streaming from the laptop webcam. And this guy was fully Japanese. His English was not very good, but he was really interested in sniping foreign streamers for some reason. So he had seen that one of my cables was acting up, and he came to track me down to give me a replacement.
Yeah, if somebody bullies their way into a live stream, maybe that person isn't autistic. There could also be the motive here that they are a streamer themselves, with a much smaller audience, and by streaming the other streamer, he hopes to gain a bigger audience. It gets really complicated.
Replacement cable, which is, I mean, it's fine. It's, I've heard of worse motives to stream snipe someone. But then he whipped out his laptop with like a PS2 iToy here and started streaming us streaming, which is just, no, it's not good. More often than not, especially like Rob. Rob is an IRL streamer in Japan who is the GOAT. He's been doing it for so long. He's been here for years. And because Rob has been doing this for so long, he's built up a lot of friendly connections with a lot of businesses that will allow him to stream in Japan, because they know that he's not doing anything bad, and they know that he's not disrupting any customers, and he's generally just a positive influence.
Yeah, two things to remember here. First of all, a lot of streamers are like celebrities in their countries. And second, streaming yourself at an establishment can be tricky for that establishment. I mean, I remember when Hasan Abi was streaming from a restaurant, and they basically had to boot him out because so many people, I mean, he's a controversial figure, and then people started calling that restaurant, prank calls, ordering food, all kinds of stuff. So for really prominent streamers, even filming from a restaurant is like even off limits for that reason, which is a whole nother, I mean, sad thing that people do that, but...
However, these types of bonds or relationships with these businesses are very fickle, and if you do something that annoys them or you attract some attention that is unwanted, they might often not want you to stream in there ever again, which is fair enough. Luckily, this person didn't make any ruckus or any disruptances, if you will, so it was fine. But it's just something that you have to think about, and I'm not even worried about my safety in those situations. My main concern when I'm streaming in Japan, and especially when I'm inside a business or a place, is that I do not want to get more attention than I'm already bringing on myself. I already have this cyborg-esque suit on my back. I don't need more people crowding around me and giving me way too much attention that might adversely affect how streaming will be perceived in that location or that place, right? I want to show that, hey, I can give promotion to this business and I'm not disrupting anything. And I'm not doing anything bad. I'm just in, out, I do my thing, show the viewers, maybe get more eyes on it, and I get some content. It's a win-win. And so that's why it can just be a little infuriating. But obviously another huge concern is safety. You have no idea what somebody's motives are when they're tracking you down on a live stream. Maybe they just want a picture. Maybe they just want to say hi. Maybe they just want to get on camera for 10 seconds, or maybe they have more nefarious intentions. Maybe they want to try and steal something from you, or maybe they want to harm you in some way for whatever reason. You have to very quickly kind of play this off and figure out what's going on in the situation whilst having an audience of potentially 10 to 20,000 people watching you. You know, it's a lot of stress and it takes a lot of brain power.
It's such a fascinating, I paused it here in the wrong split second, but such a fascinating situation where you have a potentially autistic person, maybe with good intention, just wanting to say hello and having a little conversation with a person they really, really like. So it's easy from the autistic person's view. It's super complex from the neurotypical person's point of view, who's trying to quickly figure out what's going on here, how they're going to react.
To figure out what the f is happening and what to do. Now, obviously, I'm very fortunate. I stream mostly in Japan, so I haven't had to worry about people kind of doing things they shouldn't be doing to me on stream or saying things they shouldn't be saying, but it can happen. Here are some other examples of kind of uncomfortable stream sniping moments that we've had. Me, Pete, and Chris were at a bar. And again, remember, I do not want to disturb the business. That's my main concern.
Yeah, again, remember that also for some phrases you can get banned. So imagine somebody walking into your frame and just shouting some extremely obscene or forbidden phrases, and you get banned because they're not allowed on Twitch.
Is that I just do not want to be a burden to people around me. By doing these streams, I don't want to annoy or get in the way or interfere with any form of normal life that people have, right? Stream sniper comes and it's obviously a little bit tipsy, you know, and you can't see this on the camera, but he basically blocks the way for the staff to get out with his baggage, and the staff are visibly annoyed about this, but you can't really see this on camera because of the way I've angled it. He then proceeds to just kind of ramble on about some kind of incoherent stuff and just generally being a bit odd and uncomfortable.
Yeah, so rambling, being odd, being uncomfortable. You can see where it's going.
Even my friends look here. Thanks, man. Nice seeing you, man. Take care, dude. See you around.
Yeah, nice seeing you. Bye. See you around. A clear sign that says go away, that, you know, some autistic people might not catch.
See you around, man. Take care. Nice to see some people without masks.
What's up, man? Take care, dude. Have a good day.
I hope you guys what you're looking for here. We already found him.
I'm still looking, but I'll find it.
So the stream sniper is the one with a blurred face there in the background.
And obviously we've kind of signaled to this guy, hey, nice meeting you, see ya. Basically just saying, hey, please leave now.
Yeah.
And this guy just kind of isn't really wanting to and is kind of hovering around, and it's just quite uncomfortable.
Oh no! That's all right.
And even at one point falls over and nearly tips the table over, again just bringing so much attention to this already weird thing that I'm doing. And obviously looking back, I felt like I could have handled this better. Maybe I should have just left the camera and just maybe explained to him very quickly privately, hey man, don't do this. But it's also hard. You have 10,000 people watching you and judging every single minute thing that you're doing. You have to juggle all of these emotions and feelings and whatever is happening. And so I'd like to think that the reason I'm not too concerned about stream snipers is because I think I'm pretty good at handling these situations. I feel that I'm able to kind of juggle and figure out the vibe very quickly and kind of handle it as we go. And so I don't think I've ever had any really bad experiences, because I normally will kind of cut it off if I can tell that somebody is kind of up to something they shouldn't be, or if they have the kind of vibe where you obviously don't want to be around them much longer. And it's not just myself that I worry about with stream sniping. I also worry about the other person. I have experience being on camera. I know how to compose myself on camera. I know how to talk, and I know how to just not say dumb shit, except for trash taste. That's a different thing. However, sometimes people say things that I know that they don't mean it the way they said it, just based off their demeanor. However, what they say will be interpreted by the internet as far worse. A great example of this is when I was streaming in LA with Ludwig. We were streaming at round 1. The first hour was pretty okay. We got recognized a few times, but obviously after the first hour, where people figured out where we were and had more time to kind of drive over, the second and third hour, well, it was just insane. Like the amount of stream snipers we had, and the round 1 nearly at one point just stopped working because people just wouldn't leave us alone. All the staff started taking pictures. A lot of people there just kind of stopped what they were doing to come over and watch. It was a whole thing. It was crazy, and I didn't really talk about it much at the time because I was just trying to get through it and we were just trying to get out. When we turned off the camera, it even got even crazier, but we just wanted it to end there. Again, Ludwig is a huge deal, and so streaming with Ludwig, doing an IRL stream in one location, not moving around, yeah, it makes sense. And it was just the two of us. We were a little
Yeah, see, that's an absolute shame for him. He's a prolific streamer, but he had the chance here to work with a celebrity even like it's bigger than him, and that gets ruined because people crowd and interrupt their stream and make it impossible for them to do what they want to do. And those are supposed fans of his, and they ruined basically his opportunity.
Concerned about safety, but it all worked out in the end, luckily. Obviously, streaming IRL in America is a different beast and a lot scarier, I would say, just because anyone could have a gun on them, which is really concerning. Back to the point, sometimes there can be really well-intentioned stream snipers who want to come and say hi on stream and maybe ask a question. However, they ask something or say something that comes off as really creepy or weird or intrusive. A great example of this is on a stream I did with Ludwig when we were going around round 1 in LA. Somebody came up to me and was kind of being quite friendly, and they had a JoJo shirt, and we were having a great time just chatting, and I was trying to just get on with the crane games. And he asked me, oh, where am I from in Tokyo? And then he's like, no, where do you live?
Where do you live in Japan? In Tokyo? Yeah. Do you know which house this is? Or not one? What, my house? No. You want my address? No, not address. It's okay. See, don't worry about it.
And obviously, it came off as extremely creepy to the viewers. However, I could tell that the guy had realized immediately when he said that he had said it in a far too creepy way, and I could realize the guy didn't mean it. So I didn't want this guy to get absolutely dragged by like 10 to 15 to 20,000 people live, because I could tell the guy just up and said the wrong thing. The guy didn't mean it, and he didn't actually want to know where I lived. However, because this guy just kind of up for one brief second, now a lot of internet people are going to label him as a freak and a weirdo.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That if a stream sniper, if their face ends up on camera, if they say something creepy, that it's the internet. It could blow up. It could become a viral clip, and that person's life is ruined. So very good point here.
Oh, and I don't think that's fair. Like, yes, it was kind of creepy, but I could just tell the guy didn't mean it in the way that it appeared, which is unfortunate. And another example of this that happened recently is that I was doing an IRL stream with Mouse. I had told people, and I told Mouse that I was not gonna take any photos or talk to any stream snipers that stream, because for me, it was just a thing for Mouse. It was a Christmas thing for Mouse. Mouse doesn't get to go outside. Mouse doesn't get to see any of these Christmas lights, so I wanted to take her around to go and see all the Christmas markets and just kind of get a perspective of what it's like in Japan to see all this stuff. And I told people I didn't want to do stream snipers because I felt like that was hers to enjoy, and I don't think it was fair to allow people to try and have their moment in that. And somebody came up to me near the end of the stream and kind of was trying to play it off like they'd found me accidentally, and I just told them, no, I'm not taking any photos, and I don't want to. And I said, maybe another time.
Oh, hi. What's up?
What a coincidence.
Coincidence?
Yeah, what a big coincidence.
Can I take a picture or is it?
Yeah, maybe not right now. Sorry, man. Nice meeting you though, man. Take care.
And the guy had clearly looked like he'd made a mistake. He looked like he was really dejected by it. He realized he f***ed up, and actually he messaged me a day or two later on Instagram. I don't know how I caught this because I never check my Instagram messages. Hey Connor, I was the coincidence guy from yesterday. Just wanted to say sorry for interrupting the special stream. I acted before thinking, but I felt I would regret not taking what felt like once in a lifetime chance to meet you in person. I do feel guilty now though, since it was for sure not the best time.
Yeah, autism confirmed here. Long rant, over-explaining, trying to be forcefully casual, trying to seem normal.
especially given that it wasn't your stream specifically. So sorry again, but still thanks for being so chill about it. Hope the stream ended up being a great one. Merry Christmas. I basically just told the guy, hey, don't worry about it. It's all good. The guy had obviously realized that he f***ed up, and I appreciated that, but still, it was not welcome. So why am I talking about this? Why am I talking about the different types of stream snipers? And why am I ranting about this? And after reading Kaho's tweet, it just made me think a little bit more about stream sniping and how I viewed it and how I might have played a role in normalizing stream sniping. And honestly, it made me a little bit torn, because in one hand, I feel like I know how to juggle these situations, and I know how to deal with people, and I know how to kind of be able to handle any social situation thrown my way. However, I know that not everyone can, and not everyone takes all the precautions that maybe I would normally. I want to just get this out there right now. Please do not stream snipe me. If you are watching my stream and you are within a proximity of where I am streaming, please do not come and track me down. I just ultimately think that the risks outweigh the benefits, and I don't really want it. Unless I'm doing a stream where I specifically say, hey, come and stream snipe me, or I kind of have some challenge where stream sniping is the challenge. If I'm just walking around hanging out with my friends, or I'm just doing a stream with mouse, please don't stream snipe me. Ultimately, I'm just streaming for myself and the 10,000 other people that are watching live, and somebody kind of coming in to get their own personal moment for 5 minutes is a bit selfish. I think stream sniping has been normalized for a while, and I don't think that it should be. Just because I feel comfortable with it doesn't mean that every other streamer will, and I don't really want to be perpetuating that stream sniping is a normal thing that should happen and that it's totally okay to do. Obviously, this don't stalk me while I'm streaming. It's just weird, and I just don't want it. I love IRL content, and I think it's one of the most interesting ways of using the live streaming format, especially if you do kind of curated streams. I would hate for more people to be dissuaded from doing IRL streams because they feel unsafe or because viewers just won't stop showing up. And generally on stream, I'm really open to meeting new people because I like to go with the flow, and I like to see what happens if I go with the flow. I actually met a VTuber in public who kind of saw that I was streaming.
Now, of course, he's neurotypical. You know, if you have maybe people on the spectrum wanting to go out more, maybe they, you know, build a social media presence. You know, an autistic person would be even like 1,000,000 times more terrified of being confronted this way.
And came up to me in this clip here.
Magical Girl 826.
Oh, that was really fun.
I'm a buzzer.
Ultimately, there is a time and a place for meet and greets. I go to conventions a lot. There are opportunities to meet me. Just don't be selfish. Streaming has gotten way too big and way too mainstream to have stream sniping be a normal thing that happens.
Yeah, it's so interesting that stream sniping just didn't exist, 10, 20 years ago. I mean, yeah, very interesting. And actually, as we were watching this, I thought of Action Kid, who's another streamer who actually filmed himself like walking the streets of New York. And as he became more popular, more and more people recognized him, said hello, maybe interrupted his stream. And he in the end made a video where he was very upset and said he couldn't, do the live streaming anymore because it's dangerous, he said in that video.
Where's Times Square?
It's that way, about 10 blocks.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't really be recording people in public like this, right?
Oh, you can. It's protected on the First
Amendment.
Amendment.
I think that's illegal.
It is legal. I'm sorry.
Not sure. I think that's illegal. Have you ever had a man of complexion try to slap that thing out of your hand?
No, no one did.
Well, have you ever been in any altercations, really?
Well, there are people who dislike it, but I'm very respectful of people, and I'm not,
great.
facing anybody.
You're respectful. That's great.
Yeah. But thank you.
The fact is that I'm a pretty lonely guy. That's the reality of it. And I'm just looking for somebody.
Okay.
Just to hang out with temporarily.
Yeah, it's a really strange time now, but
it's a strange time, definitely. But I wanted to, I just wanted to bond with you. The Corona thing.
Oh, it's
you're
fine.
A lonely guy.
Yeah. Take care, man.
Yeah. So with stream sniping, obviously the line between stream sniping and stalking is a very fine line, and I think there might even be a lot of people who want to be near the streamer, but then are not social enough to actually want to interact with them, so they just follow them around. So here's a very interesting case where Ludwig is talking about just a person who started following around a female streamer who actually had a project where she was filming herself walking across Taiwan. But let's watch a little bit of that to get a bit, not the female perspective because it's Ludwig explaining, but it's a sense of how creepy this can get. And I would argue that that person here that followed her probably on the spectrum, but of course there could be other mental issues too, which is in itself also very scary.
Over the past couple of weeks, I've gotten really into walking, which is a sentence normally reserved for babies, but it's true. I've fallen in love with walking. I have a goal of 10,000 steps every single day, and if I don't hit it, I feel like shit. I feel like I missed my daily quest, I missed my stat boost for the day, and I'll never get it back. So I make damn sure to hit my 10,000 steps, even if it takes 2 to 3 hours straight of walking. And it's
those Fitbits or whatever armbands that track how many steps you take can be really nice. Maybe if you're on the spectrum, want to get fit, because it has that additional counting, tracking thing that makes you want to, reach a certain level.
It's kind of hard for me because in my defense, I used to walk 500 steps total in a day. I'd walk to my stream, I'd walk to get food, I'd walk to take a shit, and then I'd walk to go to bed. That was it. Now I'm a changed man. I've even become a Fitbit guy. I'm not set on being a Fitbit guy. I think it's kind of cringe, but the walking thing I'm for sure set on. And as a walker, I like noticing when other people walk. And one fellow streamer, Ginny, has been walking way more impressively than me because she's doing something called a waddle-thon, which I think she invented. She's basically walking across the entirety of Taiwan, which is miles and miles and miles of walking every single day. And it's dope to see because you see things you would never see in your day-to-day life. Even if you live in Taiwan, you probably wouldn't see the streets and the corners that she goes to because she's walking across the whole damn bitch. And
I love that. By the way, if you like road trips, or recently there was a series of somebody who skateboarded across America, in a span of 5-6 weeks, and wow, that was a great series. Just amazing, so inspiring. I'm thinking of it sometimes as I bicycle around now.
And it's clear that people are super into this stream. I mean, look how many different countries people are watching this waddle-thon from. If you guys haven't seen it, I'd definitely go check it out and support her. However, in the middle of Ginny's waddle-thon, something kind of weird happened. A guy showed up and stuck around a little bit too long. A little bit suspiciously.
Oh, look at that cat in the background.
Get out of me, Coots.
Is that the Scottish Fold?
There was a stalker following Ginny. And this was kind of unearthed in part by Twitch chat. So let's just watch this first clip here. We have a yellow and black telephone pole. That means we're in Taiwan. Shout out Rainbow. And you can see across this busy highway is some random guy in a black hoodie. He's covering his face all the way. And you probably shouldn't be walking on the street in general. It's not really a street to walk on. There's not really a sidewalk. But Ginny's doing it because that's her job. And this guy also happens to be doing it. Not weird by itself. But that's not where it ends. Keep an eye on the timestamp here, 1 hour, 22 minutes. 10 minutes later, we have this clip.
The guy in dark coat, oh, he's there.
Yeah, classic situation. She can't get away because, she's walking. She has to walk in that direction. That's the street.
There. Do you see him? He's there.
So Twitch chat started to catch on that this guy might still be lurking around. So they started to ask her updates occasionally to see if he's still hanging around, if he's still close in proximity, just to keep tabs, just to be safe. That was 10 minutes later. Here's another few minutes later.
Good guy is
Now, Twitch chat suspicions could be interpreted as someone who's maybe a little off their rocker, but they were spot on because this guy did not leave within 30 feet of Ginny for the entirety of this stream. This is 40 minutes after he was first spotted on the stream. Ginny's going to take a break at a little cafe. Just sit down for a while. Here's the little hoodie guy. She's like, you know what? I want to chill. I've been walking for a while. That is the purpose of the stream after all. Let me sip my coffee. She stays here and talks to chat for 1 whole hour. Just 1 whole hour looking outside at the ocean. Oh,
it's beautiful.
Out, having a drink. An hour and a half later,
tier list.
She's walking down.
Guys. That guy's still there. The guy was following us.
An hour and a half later, still there, just across the street. Now, unless you believe he was coincidentally taking a break at the same exact time, at the same exact location, there is no reason for him to also be across the street from her still. At this point, the guy's just been following her for a few hours, stopping at the same times she does, walking to the same places she does. But this is where it gets particularly weird and honestly a little unsafe and uncomfortable. You can see him right here.
It's more sus and scary because he's like not, we cannot see his face at all.
He's totally
his face
covered.
Is completely covered.
He crosses the street as she's trying to figure out some tech issues because
he doesn't even
her
come
internet
and
was
say
going
hi.
down.
He doesn't even talk to me. He just like follows.
And then he just kind of sits in the bushes weirdly.
Look, he's just there.
You know? He just happened to get inspired to go across the street to watch the ocean view. So you can see the timestamp here, 3 hours, 55 minutes. Then she finally gets the tech figured out, starts walking by 5 minutes later. Enough playing this song. Good meme.
Yeah, she's playing Every Step You Take by the Police. Oh, that's hilarious.
And then she goes past him, films her own face, and after walking by far enough, he gets up from his spot that he happened to be watching the ocean at. It's just bizarre. It's just bizarre stalkerish behavior. Finally, gets a little more comfortable because some other people come from a news station who wanted to interview Ginny on what she's doing to make a story about it because she...
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's almost like a severe, not severely autistic, but quite autistic person. I mean, that would kind of explains it because he's probably a huge fan of hers, but he doesn't want to be seen. He's, too shy to just pass by and say hi and have a 10-second interaction, but he just loves so much being somewhere in her vicinity, so he does that, and somewhere in his head it's probably okay because he's not bothering her. Yeah, all this screams autism to me, but I mean, I don't know, could be something else. I mean, I don't think it's like a murderer waiting for her to be alone. Yeah, let me know what you think.
She's walking across Taiwan, and it's pretty dope. Clearly, people in Taiwan are interested. And one of the news guys starts filming the stalker after Ginny tells him about the stalker.
It's gonna be on the news. Holy shit.
She's memeing that'll be on the news, foreshadowing. Then she does her interview for about 40 minutes. You can see the timestamp, 4 hours, 44 minutes. The filming happened at 4 hours, 2 minutes. 40-minute interview. And then she walks by this bench, and who's there but the stalker guy.
I think it really...
At this point, it's outright creepy. It's a goddamn disturbance, and there could be some serious shit that happened.
It was creepy from minute 3 or 4. Even just... the moment she stopped at the cafe and the guy stopped with her and then started walking in,
When someone covers their face up, it's usually not because they're trying to do fun, good stuff.
Did he get up? I have no clue right now.
As she walks by the bench, he of course gets up, crosses the street, starts following her again. This went on for 4 hours, and thankfully Ginny was super aware of it. I think played it super well. Twitch chat honestly was tracking him down everywhere he went. Eventually, this happened.
There. What is he doing? Looks like he's like collecting something. Oh, there's a police officer. Oh, well.
I don't know if it was one of the viewers from Taiwan who were watching, but eventually somebody nods the police off, and the police stopped the guy for being weird and for stalking her. And she didn't film too much of this. She kind of moved on and went to a cafe to eat and continued walking because, let's be honest, she's got a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah, I don't know if there's enough awareness yet with police because you have, so many situations where also like people call the police and say there is like a hostage situation at a, what's that called again? Where malicious audience members have had police in America like break into the house of the streamer because of false 911 calls. And apparently police across America is not educated enough about streaming that, there would be some precautions for that.
But what did happen next was beautiful because he was arrested by the police. Apparently, he was super, super annoying to the police. He was a huge pain in the ass. He was not cooperating at all. They arrested him. Not only did they arrest him, it got on the news that they arrested him.
Maybe it was a libertarian and he said, you have no right to arrest me. You don't have a right to, talk to me or search me.
Had some
Just kidding.
police said, he got aggressive when police officers were investigating him. But he went to hospital. It was on TV news. So yeah, he's gonna get all the help he needs in the hospital.
An amazing outcome, and Ginny could not have handled it better.
Wow. How much has society changed? What kind of crazy situations do we have now with this sort of stuff? But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.